بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh everyone, and welcome to our last majlis in this term, this academic year. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive our sins of our shuyukh, our parents, our beloved ones, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us tawfiq so we can benefit from the lesson, from the ayat that we will be learning today. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us an ikhlas, sincerity in our statements and our actions. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward us heavily, and we'll find our mizan yawm al-qiyamah heavy with deeds, and we will be informed at the time that we attended a class learning the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, so let's see inshallah our ayah we have for now. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So in the surah last week, we covered the saying of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَمَكَثَ غَيْرَ بَعِيدٍ فَقَالَ أَحَطُّ بِمَا لَمْ تُحِطْ بِهِ وَجِئْتُكَ مِنْ سَبَإٍ بِنَبَإٍ يَقِينٍ. That's the statement of Al-Hudhud, as we said. And then he said, إِنِّي وَجَدْتُ امْرَأَةً تَمْلِكُهُمْ وَأُوتِيَتْ مِنْ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَلَهَا عَرْشٌ عَظِيمٌ. We talked about this ayah and the states of the women. And then he said, I think that's where we stopped, وَلَهَا عَرْشٌ عَظِيمٌ. So today we're going to go to ayah 24, the saying of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's the saying of Al-Hudhud. Allah quoted that to us. He said, وَجَدْتُهَا وَقَوْمَهَا يَسْجُدُونَ لِلشَّمْسِ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ وَزَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ أَعْمَالَهُم فَصَدَّهُمْ عَنِ السَّبِيلِ فَهُمْ لَا يَهْتَدُونَ. So Al-Hudhud, the bird, when he returned to Sulaiman alayhi salam, after he gave his excuse to Sulaiman that he had ilm that Sulaiman himself did not have that before, and he told him about that ilm, that knowledge about the existence of Saba, the existence of that queen who used to own them and all of that, and Sulaiman was not aware of all of that. He said wajadtuha, giving him more details and more information about this empire or this city, the city of Saba. He said, وَجَدْتُهَا وَقَوْمَهَا. وَجَدْتُهَا, I found her. And who's her? Referring to وَجَدْتُ امْرَأَةً تَمْلِكُهُمْ. He referring to al-mar'a. And as we said before, this imra'a, the lady, her name is Bilqis. وَجَدْتُهَا, I found Bilqis, the queen or the ruler of those people. وَقَوْمَهَا, and her people. وَجَدْتُهَا, I found her and her people. What they're doing, يَسْجُدُونَ لِلشَّمْسِ. They prostrate to ash-shams, to the sun. So it was said, the ayah here is very, very clear, that the people of Saba, they used to worship ash-shams. And generally in the history, they say that the people of Saba, they used to worship lights. And generally they are Majus. And Majus, the fire worshippers, they worship lights, and either the shams or the fire or the light. So some of them, they're saying the people of Saba, they are Majus, and Majus are fire worshippers. And they link that because, as you know, the Persian Empire, they have very, very strong link with Yemen, and this is in Yemen from a long time, and that's how they linked it. But there is slightly different between worshipping a shams and worshipping the fire, because two different things, and Allah knows best. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said it very clearly here, يَسْجُدُونَ لِلشَّمْسِ. And Ash-Shams is one of Allah's creation that was worshipped by many, many nations from long time until maybe possibly until now. Allah knows best. Maybe there are people in this world, in somewhere in this planet, that they worship Ash-Shams. It was said also, even the people in Mecca, they used to worship some of them Ash-Shams. Because when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as in the seerah, entered Kaaba in the Fath Mecca in year 8, where Rasulullah opened Mecca and he entered the Kaaba inside, the images was seen inside, and that's according to what is in the seerah. The images was seen inside the wall of the Kaaba, the image of male and female, and some of them they're saying that's Isa and Maryam, and some are saying that's Hubal and other idols, and they saw the image of a shams in there. And as you can see, a shams is like a circle, and maybe it's like some line like a fire in there, which is showing the sign of a shams. That's showing that the people of Quraysh, there may be some of them, or before them, there were people who used to worship Ash-Shams. We know that as in the seerah of Rasulullah as well, when Abu Sufyan was called by the Hercules Herakl in Asham when he received the message of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and at the time it was peace between Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Meccan people. He was asking him about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the question, the very famous hadith. I'm not sure if you know that or not. At the beginning of Sahih Bukhari, who is this person, about his nasab, his lineage, and his whether he's honest or not, and asking him many questions. He said, Abu Sufyan, he said he named Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with the name of a person known in Jahiliyyah who used to worship a star. So what I want to say, that there used to be in Jahiliyyah, close in the time of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, people that used to worship planets and stars. So more likely there were people who used to worship Ashams. So Ashams, because being very great creature, is far away from us, we can't reach it, and the people that benefit greatly from this Ashams, the light, the warm weather, and all of that, as you know, you all know the benefits of this creature. The people start worshipping this, and whenever they see something that has or giving them a benefit, they go and worship it without looking at the logic of who's created that creature itself. And Alhamdulillah, Allah saved us, made us to worship Him subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of everything. So yes, يسجدون للشمس من دون الله, beside Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A bird with a size of my face like this, my hand, and said a statement of Tawheed, a statement of knowing who is the creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave that into this bird, and how a human that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them aql, gave them a brain to think about it. أَفَلَا يَنْظُرُونَ أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ أَفَلَا يَعْقِلُونَ, as all in the Quran, and they're not thinking in the right way. And it's not just a hudhud. A hudhud is very small, and going into the big creature, the elephant. The elephant of Abraha, when he came to knock down the Kaaba, and as you know in the seerah, came into a point that entering Mecca, he refused to move any further inside Mecca, because he knew that he's going to be used to knock down the Kaaba, and he knew that this is the house of Allah. Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made that animal, like they said his name is Ammar. I hope that you don't have a son called Ammar. They said that his name is Ammar, as in the history. But that elephant, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him an ayah for us, an ayah to the people of Quraysh to think about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to think about the Tawheed, and how here a small animal also is an ayah for us to think about the Tawheed. And to show you, my dear brothers and sisters, the main thing for us in this life is the Tawheed, the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then comes after that the other masail, because the Tawheed is the key for entering the Jannah. You might be a weak and not perfect believer, but you have a Tawheed. When you come into Tawheed, you are strong, and that's the most important thing for you as a Muslim. So, وَجَدْتُهَا وَقَوْمَهَا يَسْجُدُونَ لِلشَّمْسِ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. Now, why Al-Hudhud is saying that to Sulaiman alayhi salam? First, he wants to give him some ilm that Sulaiman himself did not have. Adding into the first point that I know about something that you didn't know about it. I'm adding more to you. Yeah, I'm telling you that those people are worshipping other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Secondly, it was said that Sulaiman alayhi salam was, during his time, the jihad, fighting those who are not believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, was an obligation. So it was said to him, for him, in order to get ready to fight them. And that is what will happen later on, but in different wordings. It's not the word of jihad, but it will come later on when Sulaiman sent to them the message inviting them to believe in Allah. So min dunillahi. So that's the reason why Al-Hudhud said that to Sulaiman. It was said also, Al-Hudhud was out of astonishment, out of being surprised, being someone, an animal, and he was shocked to see humans, sons of Adam, worshipping other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Something he could not believe it, and that's why he said it to Sulaiman alayhi salam. Then he said, وَزَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ أَعْمَالَهُم. وَزَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ أَعْمَالَهُم, as if he wants to say that this worshipping other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, worshipping the sun was from the tazeen. Tazeen, when a shaitan comes to you and make things nice in front of you. And that is, with no doubt, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the shaitan into the earth after sent Adam and his wife Hawa, he said, إِنَّهُ عَدُوٌّ لَكُمَا. He said very clear, from day one, he is your enemy to you and your children after you. So be careful with that. And since as shaitan, he made the qasam, and he made the qasam that I will make ighwa, لأغوينهم ولآتينهم عن أيمانهم, from their rights, from their left, from front of them, from the back, from all sides, I will come to them and make them, drift them away from the deen, and drift them away from the tawheed and from worshipping you. And that's one of his results, one of his efforts, the shaitan. زين لهم الشيطان أعمالهم. Shaitan made their a'mal, their deeds, their action, which is ibadah, worshipping other than Allah, worshipping the sun, made it good in their eyes. So that is when a shaitan comes to us. We have our nafs, and we differentiate between the nafs and the shaitan. When they come and they attack the person, then as the ulama saying that only the miracle of Allah will get you out of this attack. If both of them, they will attack you, your nafs and your shaitan. Nafs al-ammara bis-su. You have three types of nafs, but the nafs al-ammara bis-su and the shaitan, if both of them, they come and attack you, basically making things nice in front of you, and you continue in that, then really, really difficult for you to get out from that difficulty. May Allah protect us from that. But that's why all the time try to increase and try to develop a nafs al-mutma'inna and nafs al-lawwama, at least in your side, more than the nafs al-ammara bis-su. So the shaitan all the time will make things nice. You walk on the street, you see, now it's summer, you see the people not in the right manners, and you might want to look, and maybe the shaitan will come to you if you are a knowledgeable person. You know, Allah said, or Rasulullah said, the first one is for you, the second one is against you. So let me see the first one. So let me see. You look up and down, look up and down. I look, now this is the first one. I'm saying this to show you the tazyin of shaitan. Shaitan will come to you even if you are knowledgeable. Because Rasulullah said when he was asked, what about if my eyes goes into something and I didn't know that there's something haram in there, I move my eyes. He said, Al-ula laka wa thaniya alayk. The first one is for you, but you can't do anything with that. But the second one is against you. So you're saying, okay, the first one is for me. Let me look up and down. You see everything, and then you move away. So that's the knowledgeable one. And the one is not knowledgeable one is going to look at the first and the second and third and fourth. Because I'm saying this just an example. The tazeen of shaitan in everything. Sometimes maybe you do something in your family, in your life, in your private life, and you know it's haram, but you are telling yourself, your nafs is telling you something, you know what, it is a necessity, it is fine, and the shaitan comes in here, yeah, it's fine, yeah, you have children, yes, in the future you're going to have that, yes, this, yes, that, and you find a palace, a castle is all of dreams built in front of you, and it's all tazeen of shaitan. It's all dreams of shaitan, making things nice in front of you, but the reality, the base, the foundation of that is if you blow, will be vanished everything, because all of them shaitan, and reality in Sharia is all of that is not allowed. Be careful with that. Everything you want to do it, everything that you intend to do it, put there the mizan of the Sharia, put there the scale of the Sharia, put it in the Sharia scale. Is that correct? Fine. Is that incorrect? Then you have to make your effort to move away from there. May Allah protect us all from this. So shaitan really has so many tricks. One of the beautiful books, and it's published in English, also in English, so it will be good if you would like to read it, called Tablis Iblis. Talbis Iblis. Talbis Iblis. So how Iblis is the name of the shaitan, the book is divided in different chapters. How Iblis makes things nice to the awam al-nas, the general public. How Iblis makes things nice in front of the fuqaha, the jurists, the mufassirin, the mufti, the imams, the scholars of hadith, and he made them in different sections, and he gave so many ahadith and stories, and he will tell you the guidance in there how to should avoid all of that. Written by Abu al-Faraj ibn al-Jawzi al-Hanbali, may Allah have mercy upon him. The book is in Arabic, but I know that is in English. I'm not an English reader, but I know it's in English as well. Possibly more likely it's in Urdu. I think I've seen it once published by Dar es Salaam as well. So that's a good book to see how the shaitan makes tazyin to the sons of Adam. زين لهم الشيطان أعمالهم فصدهم عن السبيل. The result, the main goal for the shaitan is to make a sad, to drift people from the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the main thing. As you know, the empire of the shaitan is on the ocean, on the sea, as Rasulullah said that in the authentic hadith, and every day, every night the shaitan will send his murdana, his shayateen, his jinns out, and he will tell them to try to destroy the sons of Adam as much as you can. And the most important here, صدهم عن السبيل. الصد, when you block the way. And when you block the way, you can't go through. You go on another way, so that's drifting them from the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If he made a person intend to come for salat, one of the salawat, Salat al-Fajr. Salat al-Fajr is early in the morning, and then you know what? I'm going to Kaaba in the morning. I'm going to wake up, come to the Masjid, and then return back to home. And you know what? Is in the middle of the day, middle of the night, I go back home, then sleep will not come to me. I know I'm going to wake up. Look now, the story of the shaitan. It's all tazyin of shaitan. I will not be able to go to work because I didn't sleep well, and this and that. You know, this salah is far from me in the Masjid. You know, the Shafi'i saying is not really far than the Masjid. Let me pray at home. So let me pray at home, first time, second time. First time you're praying at the beginning of the time, second time pray at the end of the time, third time you pray out of the time. So the shaitan start from a beginning here and there, and he start with the first objective, he achieved it. Second, go higher, go, achieved it, higher, go, and achieved it. And then what he did at the end, he drifted you from being a good Muslim, attending the salah in the masjid, good Muslim doing good deeds, good Muslim doing some other things. And that's what he wants to do. For صَدَّهُمْ عَلَى السَّبِيلِ, instead of looking and pondering on this life and seeing the creator of all this universe and the sun itself that Allah created and give them the heat and give them the light, they went and started worshipping that sun. And صدهم عن السبيل, he drifted them away from worshipping Allah, from التوحيد. السبيل is سبيل, the way of Allah, which is التوحيد. فهم لا يهتدون. Of course, anyone who is being drifted away, and specifically in tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, became a mushrik in committing shirk and being someone who disobeying Allah, then فهم لا يهتدون, they will not get the hidayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they will not get the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and their situation, their life, their result, they are on astray. So they are dullal, and they are on dalala because they worship the Ashams. May Allah protect us from that. So this is a reality. It's a fact that Hudhud said that to Sulaiman, to give him a fact that Sulaiman did not know about it, and for him, as we said, to be aware of this. And if there is a duty for Sulaiman to go and invite them to the deen of Allah, which is a tawheed, and to believe in him, fine. Otherwise will be, as he will be mentioned later on inshallah, the fighting them. For us, what is the learning, the point from here, what we learn from this ayah is learning that at-tawheed is one of the most important ibadat, and وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I only created jinn and ins for إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Ibn Abbas, he said, إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ إِلَّا لِيوَحِّدُونَ. Tawheed. Al-ibadah is Tawheed al-uluhiyya, means you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone and no one else with him. So that is the main thing for us. Remember that when you make your ibadah, you worship Allah. You might say, well, you're talking to a Muslims, I come to the masjid, I don't commit shirk. So the shirk are different levels. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned a shirk al-asghar, and a shirk al-asghar when you intend, in your intention, other purposes in there for people to see you, basically like the showing off. A shirk al-asghar is very tiny, very small. You can't realize yourself, and unless if you are focused, you know that I'm doing something for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or not. I'm not expecting any one of you who's going to go and commit shirk and have an idol, something there to worship it. But you know what Tawheed, my dear brothers and sisters, are three kinds. Tawheed al-uluhiyya, and I don't expect anyone to worship other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, unless if we have the riya, which is showing off in our ibadat. The second type of Tawheed is Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, and that is the one I personally I fear about people living in the West about it. I don't look into this, because in Jahiliyyah time, Rasulullah sallam, or as established in Tawheed, the books of Tawheed, that Tawheed al-Rububiyyah is one of the aspects of Tawheed was, there's no doubt about it, and the Anbiya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came to establish Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah, because Tawheed al-Rububiyyah was fitra. Fitra is a nature in the nations, with an exception to people of Ibrahim and Namrud and Fir'aun, who claimed that أَنَا رَبُّكُمُ الْأَعْلَى. He said, I am your Lord. And although Allah said that, but Allah also said, وَاسْتَيْقَنَتْهَا أَنفُسُهُم. They believe that or he believed that he's not the Rabb. And he believed that inside his heart that Musa alayhi salam is the Nabi of Allah and Allah is al-Rabb. Regardless of all of that, generally the people of Quraysh, they, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَئِن سَأَلْتَهُمْ مَنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَلَئِن سَأَلْتَهُمْ لَيَقُولُنَّ اللَّهِ. If you ask them who created the samawat wal ard, they will say Allah. That's Tawheed al-Rububiyyah. And when there are difficulty and matter, they will go to Allah. As Imran ibn Hussein, his father, he said, Rasulullah said to him, although the story, the chain of the hadith is weak, but the ulama used, he said, how many gods do you have? He said, I have 11. He said, which one from the 11 gods that you made him for your necessity when you are in difficulty and really you go to him and no one else? He said, the one in the up there, Ar-Rabb, the one that I don't see. And the rest, I do them in normal life. See, they have Tawheed al-Rububiyyah is fitra in them. But for the people who lives in the West, because the life became very difficult and losing your salary, thinking about to be sacked, it'll make the person sweating and feeling and cutting under all that pressure, and might go into a sickness and having medicines and all of that. Really, that's a very serious situation. You need to look at it. If you get into that situation, and then you need to question your Tawheed al-Rububiyyah. Who's al-Razzaq? Who's the one who gives you the rizq? Is it the company, the job that you work, the thing that you think about it all the time, you get to be promoted, you get that money and that money? Wallahi, your rizq is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you should be like the birds, as Rasulullah sallam, they go out empty stomach and they return with a full stomach. So that's what we should do. I said that from my experience and knowing community, knowing brothers and families, I see how they struggle and their iman, it goes down when you come into the money, going into paying the mortgage, going into having their salaries and all of that. They really struggle. And their tawheed and their iman, it becomes like shaking in there. So you need to be careful with this. May Allah protect us. And that's my message, what I can learn from this ayah, just highlighting the importance of tawheed and worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And التوحيد will bring you the hidayah. If you are a muwahhid, فهم لا يهتدون. Because really, if you are a muwahhid on the tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the hidayah will be there. Allah will make the hidayah more into the deen of Allah, more and easier to you. And then the Hudhud said, ألا يسجدوا لله الذي يخرج الخبأ في السماوات والأرض ويعلم ما تخفون وما تعلنون. He mentioned some of the qualities of Ar-Rabb. Some of the qualities, some of the features of Ar-Rabb, Tawheed al-Rububiyyah. So he said, start with the Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah. Allah yasjudu. The word Allah, there are different views amongst the Mufassirin. If you're using the English translation, I'm not sure which view was taken. Some ulama, they're saying the asl of Allah yasjudu means, Ya ayyuhan nas usjudu lillah. All people prostrate to Allah. And some are saying, Allah yasjudu, it means usjudu lillah, prostrate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So different views in either views, in all of them, because they looked from a linguistic perspective and grammar and how the Arab they use the word Allah yasjudu. At the end, it's from an expression or a statement from the Al-Hudhud. He is saying that they must make sujood to Allah, not to the Ash-Shams, the sun. So that's what they should do. They should make sujood to Allah, not to the sun. Allah yasjudu lillah. And then he starts describing Allah with qualities to do with Tawheed al-Rububiyyah. Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, my dear brothers and sisters, maybe I talked about earlier, to make it simple for you to understand what Tawheed al-Rububiyyah means. Remember this. Need to remember that Allah, He is Al-Khaliq. He is the creator. The creator of everything that you think about it in this world. Everything. He's the creator of the whole universe. And He created this long time ago. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was there and no one was with Him. He's al-awwal, laysa qablahu shay. Allah then created. Allah even did not need His arsh that He is sitting on it subhanahu wa ta'ala. He did not need His arsh. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the water. Allah created al-arsh and arshullah ala al-ma. And from there Allah created al-qalam. And Allah created from there the preserved tablet, and He made al-lawh al-mahfuz, and He commanded al-qalam to write all the maqadir before creating the samawati wal ard. 50,000 years and our maqadir is already written in there. So then Allah created a samawati wal ard. So the first thing in Tawheed, Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, you need to remember Allah is Al-Khaliq. Then Allah is Al-Malik. Al-Malik, the owner. He created, He owns what He created. Everything that He created, He owns what He created. Al-Malik, and then after Al-Malik, He is Al-Mutasarrif, Al-Mudabbir. If you use the word Al-Musarrif or Al-Mudabbir, it means He's the one who will do with what He created, what He owns, whatever He wants to do. I created this tissue, I own this one, and I am Mudabbir and Mutasarrif. I want to rip it, I want to do it like this. I want to do with it as if whatever that I want to do with that. And that's what we think about this world. Allah created us, Allah owns us, and He will do with us whatever He wants to do. He gives us children, He does give us children. He makes us healthy, He gives us the sickness. He makes us to die, He gives us life. Everything in this life, He makes you rich, He makes you poor. He's a mutasarrif, He's a mudabbir. So summarizing Tawheed al-Rububiyyah in 3 words: Khaliq, Malik, Mutasarrif. He's the creator, He's the owner, He's the one who designs and makes things in this universe as He wishes subhanahu wa ta'ala. That will summarize to you Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, and all the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the action that you know about Allah, they come under these 3 words. Yes, Allah yasjudu lillahi alladhi yukhrijul khaba'a fi samawati wal ard. Allah is the one who brings out al-khaba', and means al-makhfi. Okay. The ayah is long, and I got just reminded of the time. We'll stop there, inshallah. So, inshallah ta'ala, may Allah bless you all, brothers and sisters. I think for up to here is enough for today. Inshallah, we will resume with this ayah, which we didn't complete, ayah 25, inshallah ta'ala. In September, may Allah give us life, and you'll be returning healthy and safe, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair all for attending this class, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. And yeah, that's the end. Subhanakallah wa bihamdik, shalla la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.